What's up, guys? Simon here once again. This time, well, a little bit different. Last time you guys saw me, I was talking about the Super Nintendo Classic. Great system. Go watch the video. Also, if this is your first time here, hit the subscribe button because that way you know when I'm coming out, when I'm saying things, and let's see what happens today. Because a lot of times people always talk about leaks, movie leaks, script leaks. Oh, if you watch WWE, oh, we heard that this is going to happen with the dirt sheets, you know? Well, something a little bit similar. The Nintendo 64 Classic. Now, everyone's saying, oh, they're going to do it. Well, Nintendo, and it wasn't the United States version of the Nintendo website, not Nintendo.com that you can go to anywhere and just yada, yada, yada. This was on the Nintendo.co.uk site. Under there, support for Nintendo 64 manuals. And if you know how to navigate their site, you know how to find manuals. They released, I want to say, 18, 19 games for the Nintendo 64. The manuals on their website out of the blue. Now, normally I would say, okay, well, they got the Nintendo Switch. Maybe they're putting this in the classic library like they did with the Wii. Stuff like that. But think about it. The Nintendo Classic did phenomenal. The Super Nintendo Classic is still doing phenomenal. Like, people are trying to find these units. And they're like, you guys seen? It took me it took me a while to get to where I could actually find one of these things. And it was just kind of weird that out of the blue, Nintendo would release this information. So it makes you wonder, are these the games that are set in stone going to be on the the Super Nintendo 64 Classic? Nintendo 64 Classic. Sorry, I've had a lot of stuff going on this week, guys. So if I stammer and stutter, please overlook it. Got, birthdays, Thanksgiving, holiday. The wife put the tree up, and it's not even Thanksgiving yet. You know how that irritates me. Let the holidays fall in place. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. Nintendo 64 Classic. People are going to want this thing, and my wife's already told me I can't be hunting one of these. I gotta wait. If I don't get them day one, I can't go scavenging like I did before, store to store to store, trying to find one of these things. But real quick, these are the games, and you can go, like I said, I'll try to put the link down there for the Nintendo.co.uk. If I'm really good, I'll link the entire thing, but that's about the best that I can do because I'm still not the best tech person when it comes to that crap. So here's what we're going to do. First up, 1080 snowboarding. A lot of you guys may have played that on the, what was it? No, that was Cool Borders, I'm thinking. 1080 snowboarding for Nintendo 64. Nice snowboarding racing game. I do remember playing it a little bit. Not much, because that was the college year, but anyway. Really fun game from what I remember. Different to put on there. Different kind of racing game. Back then you always had the cars. Sometimes, Sega did the Road Rash. They had that for a lot of the PlayStation stuff. You had, there was another game, and I cannot think of it off my head. Anyway, mostly the Road Rash, stuff like that. And I think they even did Road Rash 64, which I'm surprised they did not put on the system. Just a little bit. But, they had other types. And this is kind of a different type of aspect of a racing game. You can do tricks, and you're racing downhill on snowboarding. It's, I think Sega came out with Skitchin', the rollerblade game that was like Road Rash. You could fight, kick, but you're on rollerblades. That was kind of interesting. I may have to do a review about that game and see if I can figure out how to videotape some game footage of it, because it's really cool stuff. Anyway, Bomberman 64. Never played any of the Bomberman series, so I really can't give you my personal opinion on this particular game. I've seen box art for it, screenshots, and it looks really cool, just not my cup of tea. Donkey Kong 64. Now, on the SNES Classic, they did Donkey Kong Country. That was phenomenal. Donkey Kong 64. I think is going to be a good addition to this system. Excitebike 64. Now, if any of you guys ever played the old Nintendo Excitebike game, you kind of know what I'm talking about. This is another one, another different type of racing game, like the 1080 snowboarding, where you're actually, you're racing the motorcycles like Excitebike. And you can actually unlock the Nintendo version in this game. My son loves this game. I love it too. It's phenomenal. You can actually do tricks. You can actually do like courses just of tricks to where you can competitions for that. All sorts of really fun little extras you can do. It's a really good game. Glad to see that they're putting this out. And like I said, this is a list that we're not sure this is 100% final, but come on. To release them like this, it's got to be, and if it is, I hope so, because this is a really good game. F-Zero 64. If you like the F-Zero series, you're going to love this. And if you go over to Metal Jesus Rock's page, he has the actual Japanese edition to the N64, and it has a CD that you just have to go over there and see his, what I'm talking about, because that's nuts. Had a separate unit that were made just in Japan that went on the 64, had a disc. You could do a lot more stuff with this game that was also in Japan. Kirby 64, The Crystal Shards. When it comes to Kirby, I get it, but I don't. It's a very kiddie type game, genre, franchise. Great for kids. I think this is a good addition to get that, younger audience, younger demographic to try this out and check it out. Mario Golf. Well, this is Nintendo. Mario's going to be everywhere. He's back this time with some golf. I've never played it. But I think it's a fun addition for the family, for family time if you're going to play. Mario Kart 64. Duh. This makes me really happy that if this is going to be on here, that this is on here. Because the Super Nintendo version of Mario Kart, fun but not great. Mario 64, anybody who has one remember playing 4 players, you remember a lot of nights, a lot of fights because over this game, So I'm really glad that it's out. Mario Party 2. I played a couple of the Mario Party series in this. They're like on number 9 or something like that now. 7 or 8, I don't really know. But I know they got a bunch in the franchise. And why they went with number 2, I'm not sure if it was... I don't know. I know they made a bunch of them, and each one had their own specific thing. I don't want to say specific thing, but they always added. Every time they did it, they always added. So maybe this was the easiest one to get, maybe, or the best of what they thought, or the most selling. I don't know. Mario Tennis. Well, back to Mario. It is Nintendo. Mario now with tennis. Never really played it, but I know I've seen some screenshots. You can play as a lot of the Mushroom Kingdom, like you can in Mario Kart and all that. So I'm assuming it's the same with Mario Golf. You can probably pick all these characters and you're playing tennis. I know I can't play tennis for real, so might as well play it on a video game. Let's see what else we got here. Give me just a second. There's a lot of games here, so... Let's see. We've got Yoshi's Story. I don't know much about it. Never really played it. But it's on here. It's a Mario game. It's got Yoshi. It's going to be fun. Next one we got Paper Mario. Paper Mario is a lot like the Super Mario RPG aspects. You're going through, you're interacting. It's like a 2D rendering. Paper Mario looks like a comic book style. A lot of people are saying it's like the Mario one that just came out for the Switch. I don't have one, never messed with the Switch, so I don't know all the games. But I know a lot of people that I'm hearing about are saying that that game that they have for it is a lot similar to this. So it's a fun game. It's kind of a kiddie version of Super Mario RPG, even kiddier as far as colors and look. Next up, Pokemon Snap. All you Pokemon fans, gonna love this game. You drive around, you look around, you're pretty much a photographer at a zoo. Just snapping pictures of Pokemon. Anyone you can get, take a picture. It's fun. very kiddie-esque again for younger audience. So I think, now I'm going to catch a lot of heat from all the Pokemon nerds now because I said for a kiddie genre, but this particular game can be played by the hardcore Pokemon fan that's played it since day one, or a younger generation that's still trying to figure out the game systems, the way everything moves. It'll kind of teach them that too. Sin and Punishment. Not a clue about this game. I do know it's a shoot 'em up, I believe. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I know nothing about this game. So, it's on there. If anybody's played it, leave a comment. Tell me what you guys know about any of these games that I'm mentioning. If you have any memories or games you would like to see on these consoles that they're doing, or something this is your chance to voice your opinion. I mean, think about it. How else do they know? Hey, how do we know what games to play? They listen to the people. Mind you, we're just a simple YouTube channel. But get your voice out there. You never have a nice discussion about this, because I think there's a lot of other games that could have been on here, but we're not done yet. So we go, next one up, Star Fox 64. This is the one, that was the sell point for the SNES Classic. So, it's on the 64. I think it was done better on the 64 because of the technology that was there in the 64 compared to the Super Nintendo. That's just my opinion. I played it. I suck at these games, at those type of games. So, like I said, I'll never get to play Star Fox 2 because I can't do crap on Star Fox. That's just not my genre, not my cup of tea. Next up, Mario 64. Once again, another Mario game here on the N64. But why not? Mario 64 was the one title that everybody remembers playing from the Nintendo 64. That's the first game I remember playing was Mario 64. So I think it was the launch title, I believe. Now, if I'm probably wrong, please correct me. But I believe that was one of the launch titles that came with it. That and I think Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong was Super Nintendo. Sorry. But next up, we got two different Legend of Zelda games. You got Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. This makes me happy. I'm a big Zelda fan. I've played just about every game up to the 64. Anything after that I really haven't played. I'm not going to lie. I don't have the new systems. I got kids. It's hard to go out and dump $300-400 on a system. Plus 60. I wait a lot of times for them to come down and I get them. But even the GameCube version was okay for what it was. But these two games, phenomenal. Any Zelda fan, this right here will make you happy. Especially if you remember playing, you don't have the system or the carts anymore. Just pick this thing up if they put it on here. Wave Race 64. Another different type of racing genre. This time you're on jet skis. Same thing. You're just racing through, battling the waves, battling the other players. There's the elements that are out there. Really fun. Want to get another party game that you can sit here and play with the family, have your friends over, and just have fun. And that's the last one. Sorry, I thought I had one more. Now these are all the games that they've listed under the Nintendo.co.uk. I could be wrong. These could just be manuals they're putting out for the Switch Virtual Console. But think about it. Every one of these games was great on the system. You remember playing them. That's how the Super Nintendo was. That's how Nintendo was. That's how Genesis class. Every classic thing they've done has been games that have done well on the market. A lot of units sold. It's one of those. So I mean, if you think about it, this could be the list, and they may add, they may subtract. You don't know, but hopefully, this is if I'm reading into this right, and I've listened and watched and looked around, done a little bit of research. A lot of other people are saying the same thing. That this is possibly the list of the games they're coming out with for the 64 Classic. So take that for what you want. I mean, like I said, leave a comment below. Let us know what games you thought would be better. I mean, I know a lot of people are going to say, what about the WWE series, the WCW Revenge, GoldenEye, licensing issues, if you think about it. the way those licenses go, depending on how many years they have the contract for, they can't release that game. It's a legal issue, which sucks for the fans and the players, but what can you do? I mean, I would love to see GoldenEye on here, or one of the WWE games, any of the wrestling games, little first-person shooter games. That was like the Halo, you know what I mean? Before Halo. That was the ultimate game, was GoldenEye. The 4-player, deathmatch type duel, that was great for consoles, But there's so many other games like Super Off-Road, I think could have been on there too. That was a great, racing genre, dirt track racing. Really fun. Like I said, all sorts of racing games. They had a bunch of racing games. I wish they would have put, I want to say it's called, oh man. Gauntlet. Sorry, that took me a minute, because I was actually at the local arcade not too long ago playing this game on a cabinet, and I remember playing it on the 64, but never, after we got done with everything with 64 and I got rid of everything, which was stupid on my part, I never could find it again, or a ROM that would work. But I remember playing this game in the arcade. Great game. That could have been a phenomenal way to play too. All sorts of games that could have been put on here. These are the ones they have listed, mind you. These are the names they've released. We'll see what happens. I'll keep you updated as soon as I find out more information. You guys will. Thank you once again. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. See you guys next time.